Hey everybody, welcome to week number 7. You guys, you're almost done. You're doing a great job. Hey, I just wanted to jump on and talk for a few minutes about week number 7. I'm in the introduction here. The main thing I wanted to point out were the learning outcomes. So you need to be able to identify characteristics and supports for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. You need to understand the historical context of education of students with intellectual disabilities and the impact of that. You need to be able to understand characteristics and appropriate supports for students with orthopedic impairments and understand the determining factors for the multiple disabilities category of IDEA. Okay, so that leads us right in to the first assignment, which is the meeting memo. So you'll want to go ahead and do that, same as we always do. And then the next assignment, the week 7, there's only one assignment other than the discussion board this week, and I'll talk about the reason for that. But it's a compare and contrast activity, so you're going to create a chart from each main disability category. So you are going to design a chart for intellectual disabilities, OHI, orthopedic impairments, and multiple disabilities, and each of those are going to be the headers on your chart, along with the key ways you can distinguish each category from another. So keep your information concise. So you really want to be able to condense and streamline the information that you learned in all of this week's information over here. You're going to want to put epilepsy under OHI. Again, put cerebral palsy and spina bifida under orthopedic impairment. You have multiple disabilities, and go ahead and put developmental delay and Down syndrome under intellectual disabilities. So compare and contrast, differentiate, synthesize this information, use bullets, submit your chart when you're finished. Remember color, font, formatting, make your chart attractive to help you retain that new learning, and also to understand that when you're working with your students, it's important to make sure that things look nice. Okay, the rest of the time this week, since there's only one discussion board and one assignment, I want you to look forward to week 8. So in week 8, we have a key assignment that is due, which is called your philosophy of inclusion. So you are going to write a philosophy paper, and so I want you to spend some time not only looking at the template, but looking at the rubric as well, and make sure you look at the exemplary column, but make sure you look at the column beside that as well, because a lot of people think that they are exemplary when actually they're a column over. So if you want, so make sure you're able to take a look at that. Here is the template for next week for your philosophy paper that's due at the end of week 8. Do make sure, this doesn't look like it's in Times New Roman, so do make sure you use Times New Roman 12-point font. You're going to write inclusion philosophy at the top. You're going to put your introductory paragraph there. You're going to explain that you're going to talk about special education, human diversity, collaboration, commitment, and inclusive classrooms. So these are all the level 1 headers. Special education is a level 1 header. Then you're going to write underneath of there, talk about everything that you've learned about special education. Then you're going to write a section on human diversity. Then you're going to write a section on collaboration. Then you're going to write a section on commitment. Then a section on inclusive classrooms. And then you're going to write your conclusion. So really spend some time this week kind of putting together a rough draft in the time that you have available, since there's only one assignment this week. Do make sure you pay attention to how many references are needed within each of these sections. That is all on the rubric. So do take a look at that at that this week. I think that's all I have to report. I graded everything. Please make sure that you check the grade book and double check me and make sure I've graded everything. The grade book is not all that user friendly for me, so maybe it's more user friendly for you, but just go through and double check and make sure I've graded, if you've turned it in, that I've graded it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you have a wonderful week.